Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If she's pulling away, if her texts are shorter, her energy feels different, her eyes avoid yours for a second longer than usual. What if she's not losing interest? What if she's fighting feelings she doesn't know how to control? Before we go any deeper, subscribe and like this video right now. Not for me, but because what you're about to hear might completely change how you see her behavior. And most men never learn this. You think distance means disinterest. You think silence means replacement. You think inconsistency means she's already gone. But sometimes, distance means she's overwhelmed. Let me speak to you, not as a content creator, but as a psychologist who has sat across from hundreds of women trying to explain emotions they don't fully understand themselves. When a woman begins to feel deeply, truly deeply, it doesn't always look romantic. It often looks like confusion, irritation, mood shifts, sudden coldness, because feelings mean vulnerability, and vulnerability means risk. You see, when she starts imagining a future with you, when she catches herself smiling at your name, lighting up her phone, when your opinion starts mattering more than she expected, something inside her tightens. Is this safe? Can I trust this? What if he changes? What if I fall harder? Men assume attraction is linear. You show up strong. She likes you more. Everything progresses smoothly. But emotional attachment is not linear. It moves forward, then retreats, then forward again. That retreat you're panicking about. It might be her trying to regain emotional control. Because here's a truth most men are never told. When a woman feels herself losing emotional independence to a man she respects, it can scare her. Not because she doesn't want you, but because she suddenly cares. And caring gives you power over her emotional state. If she's responding slower, if she's thinking more before speaking, if she seems slightly guarded after being open, ask yourself this: what changed? Did she start investing more before she pulled back? Did she open up about something personal? Did she show softness, then suddenly rebuild walls? That pattern is not indifference. That pattern is fear of depth. And if you misread it, if you chase aggressively, accuse, withdraw dramatically, or demand reassurance, you will confirm her fear. But if you understand it, you become the one man she feels safe falling for, and that changes everything. When she starts fighting her feelings, the first thing she protects is her dignity. Listen carefully. A woman will rarely say, "I'm scared of how much I like you." Instead, she'll say, "I just need space," or "I'm not sure what I want right now," or she'll suddenly become busy, focused, slightly distant. You interpret that as rejection, but what's really happening inside her is a quiet battle between desire and self-preservation. She wants to lean in, but she's afraid of leaning too far. You have to understand something about emotional wiring. Many women are taught, directly or indirectly, that falling too fast is weakness, that caring more is losing power, that needing a man emotionally puts them at risk. So when she feels herself thinking about you late at night, rereading your messages, replaying conversations, she doesn't just feel excitement, she feels exposure, and exposure feels dangerous. That's why the energy shifts. She may test your consistency without telling you she's testing it. She may observe how you react to minor changes. She may pull back slightly just to see if you panic. Not because she wants drama, but because she needs reassurance without asking for it. Here's the psychological truth. When attraction deepens, anxiety often rises with it. The more she values you, the more she fears losing you. The more she sees potential, the more she questions if it's sustainable. So instead of falling freely, she slows herself down. This is where most men fail. They sense distance and respond emotionally. They double text. They demand clarity. They become colder to match her energy. They try to regain control, but control is not what she's looking for. Stability is. If you remain grounded while she recalibrates, if your tone stays steady, if your attention doesn't fluctuate wildly, her nervous system relaxes, because now she sees something rare, a man who doesn't crumble when her emotions fluctuate. That kind of emotional strength feels safe, and safety is what allows feelings to grow without resistance. So when she seems conflicted, don't rush to conclusions. Watch her actions over time. Is she still responding? Is she still engaging, even if slightly slower? Is she still present, even if quieter? That's not withdrawal, that's processing. And if you can stay centered while she processes, you become the calm in her emotional storm, That's when fighting feelings slowly turns into surrendering to them. Here's something almost no man ever hears. Attraction isn't just about excitement or passion. It's about trust, deep, unconscious trust that builds over time. And when a woman starts fighting her feelings, it's often because that trust is forming, but she isn't used to it. Think about it. When she's around men who have always disappointed her, who have been inconsistent, who made promises they didn't keep, she learns to protect herself. Walls go up, eyes become guarded, heartbeats accelerate, not from desire, but from anxiety. Now imagine you're different. You show consistency she hasn't seen. You communicate with calm confidence. You don't chase when she pulls back, and you don't disappear when she steps forward. That's the kind of man who disrupts her old patterns. That's the kind of man who triggers internal conflict. Because deep down, she knows she's supposed to guard herself, but your presence makes that instinct feel unnecessary. Her feelings, the ones she's been trying to suppress or control, start surfacing, and that's terrifying for her. You see, most men think attraction is built with flashy gestures, constant attention, or intense passion. But psychology shows it's built in subtler ways, in reliability, emotional composure, and the ability to make her feel safe without suffocating her. When you master that, you don't need to force anything. She will naturally lean toward you, even if she fights herself along the way. Here's the critical point. Every time she hesitates, it's not a rejection of you. It's her subconscious asking, can I trust him with my heart? Can I let myself feel, without losing control? The stronger your grounded presence, the easier it is for her mind to say yes, even before she admits it out loud. And when she does start showing signs of attachment, subtle touches, lingering glances, quick smiles when you enter the room, those are not coincidences. Those are signals that her defenses are lowering, that her feelings are breaking through her mental resistance. This is where most men fail. They see hesitation as coldness and overreact. But the truth is, hesitation is a signal that she's invested deeply. She's not losing interest. She's processing the intensity of her own emotions and learning to accept them. The man who understands this doesn't panic. He doesn't overcompensate. He simply becomes the anchor that her emotions need to settle, the steady force that allows attraction to flourish without pressure. If you can be that anchor, she won't just feel drawn to you, she'll feel safe enough to fully experience her own feelings, and that's when true connection begins. Let me be blunt. When a woman pulls back, most men assume it's a game. They think, she's testing me, she's losing interest. That's the narrative you've been told your entire life. That attraction is a battle of wills, a numbers game, a power struggle. But what if I told you that's almost never true? When a woman seems distant, she's not thinking about strategy. She's thinking about her own heart. She's wrestling with emotions that feel bigger than anything she expected. And here's the kicker. Those emotions don't always match her conscious thoughts. She can like you deeply, but simultaneously fear the intensity of what she feels. That creates tension, hesitation, and sometimes withdrawal. You see, most men respond to this with frustration. They escalate, they chase, they demand clarity. They try to win her back with messages, gestures, or demonstrations of value. And here's why that fails. Her hesitation isn't a challenge to your worth. It's a reflection of her own emotional process. If you interrupt that process with pressure, you trigger her defense mechanisms. She pulls further away. She fights harder. The subtle psychology here is beautiful if you understand it. She's not rejecting you. She's negotiating with herself. She's asking, can I trust him? Can I allow myself to feel this deeply without being hurt? That internal negotiation can make her behavior seem inconsistent or confusing. She smiles, then disappears. She laughs, then becomes quiet. She engages, then tests. But none of it is random. Your role isn't to fix her feelings or to push her toward you. Your role is to embody consistency, stability, and calm, to show her that she can lean in without fear, to prove through actions, not words, that she's safe with you. Every time you remain steady while she hesitates, every time you respond with patience instead of panic, you teach her that she can trust you, that her emotions don't need to scare her away. And trust me, men, this is the point where few realize attraction doesn't accelerate in moments of drama. It grows quietly, steadily, almost imperceptibly. She notices your reliability. She notices your calm presence. She notices that you never demand what she's not ready to give. That's what creates deep emotional resonance. So if you see her pulling back, if she seems unsure, do not overreact, do not chase, do not try to fix. Instead, anchor yourself in quiet confidence, show unwavering presence, and let her emotions unfold naturally. That's when she stops fighting feelings and starts giving in, not to you superficially, but to the connection that's real, deep, and inevitable. When you grasp this truth, you step into a space almost no man occupies, the space where her heart willingly chooses you, even when she's terrified to admit it. Here's a truth that will hit hard. When she's fighting feelings, it's often because she's scared of what it would mean if she fully lets go. Men think love is simple. If she likes you, she acts interested. But women process emotions differently. She's asking herself questions you don't even hear. What if I depend too much on him? What if I let myself care and get hurt? What if my heart runs faster than my logic? This internal struggle creates the push-pull behavior that drives men crazy. She may text you late at night, then take hours to respond the next day. She may flirt, then pull back. She may initiate closeness, then suddenly retreat. To you, it feels confusing. To her, it's survival. She's trying to feel safely without losing control. Now let's break this down. Attraction thrives on tension, but not panic. When you overreact to her distance, you trigger her instinct to protect herself. But when you remain grounded, you allow her nervous system to relax. That's when real emotional intimacy forms. That's when she begins to let down her walls on her own terms. Every subtle hesitation, every tiny test, every moment she seems conflicted is a reflection of emotional investment. She's not losing interest, she's evaluating depth. She's asking herself, is he trustworthy? Is he consistent? Can I allow myself to feel this safely? And men who fail to understand this think it's rejection. They chase, they complain, they escalate, they confirm her fear of loss of control. Instead, the powerful move is patience, calm consistency, quiet confidence. Show her that your presence isn't conditional. Let her see that even when she hesitates, you remain unwavering. This isn't manipulation, it's self-mastery, and it creates the exact environment her heart has been craving. Here's what most men never understand. The more she fights feelings, the stronger they are. Resistance isn't the opposite of attraction. It's often its signal. She wouldn't invest energy in pulling away if she didn't care. She wouldn't feel conflicted if the bond weren't real. Her tension is proof that she's on the edge of surrendering to her own emotions. So stop interpreting her withdrawal as rejection. Stop chasing clarity that she isn't ready to articulate. Instead, focus on being a man she can rely on without question. A man whose emotional stability is undeniable. A man whose presence doesn't terrify her heart, but invites it to open. When you embody that, everything changes. The hesitation fades, the walls come down, the pull becomes magnetic, and she stops fighting. Because she finally feels safe enough to feel, her resistance becomes the doorway to deeper intimacy. And once you understand this, you'll never misread her signals again. Let me tell you something most men will never grasp. The moments she pulls away are not your enemy. They are the moments that reveal how deeply she's beginning to care. When a woman fights her feelings, it's because she's wrestling with the intensity of her own attraction. Something so powerful, it feels unfamiliar, even frightening. Think about it. She's never had someone who makes her feel both seen and safe at the same time. She's never had a man who can stay calm while her emotions fluctuate. Someone whose presence doesn't demand immediate reciprocation or force her to answer questions she's not ready to ask. That combination triggers something ancient in her psychology: curiosity, attachment, and yes, fear. Fear isn't the opposite of attraction. It's often a sign of it. The more conflicted she seems, the more she's aware of the stakes. Every time she hesitates, every time she questions her own impulses, every time she pulls back slightly, her mind is replaying the same question over and over. Do I trust him enough to let my feelings grow? And here's where men completely misunderstand. They see the hesitation as weakness or disinterest and respond with panic, aggression, or overcompensation. But real mastery comes when you don't react to her hesitation, when you understand that this is a natural process of emotional calibration. She's not playing games, she's processing intensity. She's learning to navigate her own heart while deciding whether to let you in. And the man who becomes the constant in that process, who doesn't crumble under her push-pull behavior, who doesn't beg or guilt her, who maintains his own calm presence, becomes irresistible. Because attraction at this level isn't built on drama or pursuit. It's built on trust, reliability, and the ability to hold space for someone else's emotions without letting them control you. That's why her retreat can actually be the strongest indicator of her investment. She's engaged, she's present, she's feeling something she's not ready to fully admit, and she's testing herself as much as she's testing you. The key is subtlety. Let her observe your consistency. Let her experience your stability. Let her process without interference. Every text she sends, every glance she gives, every moment she lingers near you, is a breadcrumb guiding her to the conclusion she's been hesitant to reach. If you resist the urge to overreact, if you embody calm confidence, if you demonstrate unwavering presence, you don't just survive her emotional tests, you thrive in them. And the deeper the internal struggle she faces, the more powerful her eventual surrender will be. This is the psychological truth men rarely understand. The fight you perceive is not with you, it's within her, and your role is to be the anchor that lets her finally let go. Here's the secret that most men miss entirely. When she's fighting feelings, it's not about control, it's about trust. Deep, unshakable trust that allows her to finally lean into her own emotions without fear. She's not pushing you away because she wants to leave. She's testing herself to see if she can let herself care and whether you'll remain steady when she does. Think about the way her body reacts when she's around you. The subtle tension in her shoulders, the way her eyes linger, then dart away, the small smile that appears and disappears when she hears your voice. Every one of these micro-expressions is a signal. She's negotiating internally between the comfort of her independence and the pull of attachment. And here's what men often fail to understand. The intensity of these internal negotiations makes her unpredictable. She might pull back one day, then seem warm and open the next. That's not inconsistency. That's her nervous system learning that it's safe to feel. Every man who panics in these moments loses her trust. Every man who remains composed strengthens it. Emotional depth is terrifying for women because it removes the illusion of control. She wants to know she can feel freely, but she also wants to ensure that her heart won't be compromised. That's why she may withdraw, test, or hesitate. It's self-protection. And every time she does, she's revealing the very thing you want, that your presence matters enough to affect her emotions. Here's the practical application. Do not chase her retreat with anxiety. Do not demand clarity or proof. Instead, embody calm certainty. Show her through your actions, not words, that you're consistent, reliable, and patient. This is not passive behavior, it's strategic emotional mastery. You become the one safe harbor in a sea of uncertainty. When she sees that you don't crumble, that you don't panic, and that you aren't swayed by momentary hesitation, she starts to feel a paradoxical freedom. She realizes she can give in to her feelings without fear. That's when fighting turns into surrender. That's when walls come down naturally. That's when she stops resisting what she's always wanted to feel. And understand this, the longer she struggles internally, the more powerful the eventual connection becomes. The emotional intensity builds, the attachment deepens, and her eventual surrender is not superficial. It's genuine, lasting, and transformative. This is how attraction evolves beyond mere chemistry. This is how a woman moves from cautious distance to wholehearted desire. And once you comprehend this dynamic, you'll never misread hesitation as rejection again. You'll see it as the unmistakable sign that she's falling, even when she pretends she isn't. Let me leave you with this, and I want you to really hear me. If she was truly losing interest, you wouldn't feel this tension. There would be no push and pull, no lingering eye contact, no emotional fluctuations, no subtle warmth hidden beneath moments of distance. Indifference is quiet, it's flat, it's predictable. What you're experiencing isn't indifference, it's emotional friction. And friction only exists when two forces are moving toward each other. When a woman doesn't care, she detaches cleanly. She doesn't wrestle internally. She doesn't hesitate. She doesn't overthink her responses. She simply fades. But when she's fighting feelings, you'll notice something different. She stays. Maybe cautiously, maybe inconsistently, but she stays. She replies. She engages. She watches you. She listens closely when you speak. She remembers details. She reacts emotionally. That's investment, and investment means risk. The mistake most men make at this stage is trying to force certainty. They want guarantees, labels, immediate reassurance. But deep connection doesn't grow under pressure. It grows in emotional safety. If you've made it this far in the video, understand this truth. Your power is not in convincing her. It's in regulating yourself. When you stay composed, you send a powerful subconscious message. I am not afraid of your emotions. And that is rare. When you don't panic at her hesitation, you communicate strength. When you don't chase her distance, you communicate self-respect. When you don't demand clarity before she's ready, you communicate patience. Those three traits, strength, self-respect, patience, calm her internal storm. And once her storm quiets, she stops fighting. Not because you pressured her, but because she feels safe enough to stop resisting what's already there. That's when she leans in fully. That's when the warmth becomes consistent. That's when the effort becomes mutual. That's when you realize she was never losing interest. She was protecting her heart while it was quietly choosing you. So the next time she pulls back slightly, don't react with fear. React with grounded confidence. Because if she's fighting feelings, it means those feelings are real. And the man who understands that, who stays steady through the tension, is the man she eventually stops fighting for and starts fighting beside.